Okay. You there?
I'm here.
Okay. This is gonna be one sec. Okay. This is gonna be 1959 1959 Attack of the Giant Leeches. This is that last movie we watched, the Little Shop of Horrors, that was directed by Roger Corman. This one is Roger Corman's the executive producer, and his brother was the producer. So it's another great low-budget movie. And I think they took like 8 days to film this.
8 days. Like, so the other one was what, 2 days or
2 days?
Film?
Yeah. So this is like 4 times better.
Yeah. Hopefully it is. Let's hope.
And I think this had a much bigger budget, like 70,000, I think.
Oh, 70,000. What was the other one?
Like 27,000.
27. Yep. But the other one's a little newer than this one, right? This one's 19.
This is 1959. Little Shop of Horrors was 1960.
Okay. Oh, 1 year apart. All right.
Yeah. Can't get my chat to set up properly, but anyway, doesn't matter. I'll start the movie. Sounds like a cougar, not a leech, but
right. That's probably where they get the sound effect from. Was a cougar.
Probably.
What do leeches sound like when they scream?
Hey, I'd drink some moonshine if I saw a giant leech.
Right.
Attack of the Giant Leeches.
Okay, am I? Yeah.
Can't you read?
No, I guess not.
You know it's going to be scary with this music.
Yeah, right. I was just thinking, was this remastered in THX sound or?
Whenever it has a Corman involved, you know it's going to be something special.
Yep.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Just hold it a second, Lamb. Liz? You hear me, girl?
Of course. She's in the bathroom.
What do you want now?
You gotta play that thing so loud? Would you come out like this for her?
Oh, don't bother me.
Liz,
Sweetheart.
Yep. Nice.
It's
someday
Who's-
I'm gonna give
Oh,
that
go ahead.
she-cat the whopping she's been
it's
asking for.
Yvette Vickers is her name. She was the 1959 Playboy Playmate.
I was gonna
centerfold.
say that makes sense. Jeepers.
Right before this movie came out.
Yep.
Done back there. I'll lay you a jug. She'll be doing it. Come on now, Lemon. Tell us about that thing you killed out there at the swamp, will you?
Yeah, Lim, let's hear the rest of that.
Like I was saying, I put 5 slugs into that critter before it went under. Doggonest thing I ever seen. And regular arms on it like a man. I mean, it was sort of different looking. Had suckers on them. Like one of them octopus's things. Oh, it was plumb awful looking.
Lem, you sure that critter wasn't pink?
Oh, I told you before it was sort of gray looking. Well, laugh if you want. But that thing weren't nothing nature put out there. Oh, sir. And it weren't no freak gator neither. I've been poaching this country for 40 years, and I ain't never seen nothing like it.
Too bad you didn't bring it back. Steve Benton probably pay a fair bounty for whatever it was.
Bounty?
Is this the guy that Farmer Ed is based
For
on?
all the money he ever made.
Guy with the hat.
And if you seen
Yeah.
it, you wouldn't either.
So it's like the
You better take it easy.
Petticoat
on this, 'cause you
Junction,
looking kinda peaked.
got its idea from this show.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm gonna clean my outer lines out before morning.
Lem, I think that critter's a ghost. One of those otters you've been poaching all these years, coming back to haunt you.
Well, if that's so, you fellers will see it right quick yourselves.
Don't seem to be buying much stuff at this guy's store.
Right? Though, if I lived around there, I'd be coming in to see her, I think.
Well, yeah. Apparently, Stephen King said that he had a huge crush on her when he was a kid watching this
Yeah.
movie. She's the best thing, best part of this movie.
Yeah, yeah.
Or anything like that, Liz, baby.
It's a good start
Got a
right here.
reputation around here. These folks have no respect for a man who lets his woman boss him. Well, next thing they know, they'll be laughing at me. And they'll be telling all the rest of the... Won't you please listen to me, Liz, baby? Liz?
This is what the little shop of horrors lap.
Stop looking at me like that.
I'll look at you any way I want. You're my wife.
Touch me.
You think you're talking to? Don't touch me. You're my wife. I'll touch you anytime I feel like it. Where you going? Where you going?
I'm going out. Maybe I'll be back. Maybe I won't.
Liz, baby, I didn't mean nothing.
a young one in that last trap. I had to kill it.
Oh, poor thing.
Told you shouldn't have come along.
Well, I can understand hunting an animal, but making it suffer in those traps, it's horrible.
Well, these poachers know the swamps like the back of their hands. But I'll catch one of them in the act some night and put him away for 6 months. Meantime, I'll have to be satisfied confiscating their trap lines. If they lose enough traps, it won't pay them to keep trying.
Well, be careful, darling. These people aren't like other folks. You know, they'll try and get back at you.
Let them try.
Steve, you're a stranger here. They've lived this way for generations. One man isn't going to change them overnight.
You're a real worrywart.
Oh, I'm serious, Steve. They can be dangerous.
Okay, I'll be careful. You just stop worrying.
So I guess he's a federal wildlife
Steve, I love
okay.
you.
officer of some
I love
sort.
you so much. What was that?
I don't know. You get in the truck and lock it up.
He's dressed pretty nice to go hang out in the swamp.
Right? How did she end up out there?
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Why is he pointing his gun at her?
Right?
My hero!
Yep, big and brace. And...
I love a man that points a gun at my head. With his finger on the trigger.
Listen, Benton. The coroner ruled that Sawyer died by misadventure. Now, as far as this officer's concerned, that's the end of it.
But, Sheriff, I can't see why
Look,
they're...
if Lem was killed by anything human, I wouldn't need you to tell me my job. But I'm not about to go tromping through the swamp looking for an overgrown gator.
Sawyer wasn't killed by an alligator.
Is that so? Did you hear that, Moulton? Game Warden Benton says it wasn't a gator killed Lem. Well, then what was it? You know so much. Go on, tell me. What killed him?
Doc Greyson said the wounds were the kind of squid or a large octopus might cause.
Oh, sure. And did Greyson explain how a saltwater creature happened to be 30 miles inland living in clear water?
Stranger things have happened. I know...
Look here, Benton. You work for the state. Now, why don't you keep your nose out of county business? Is that clear enough for you?
Oh, go soak your fat head.
Ooh. Strong
What was
words.
that you said?
I said go soak your fat head.
Oh, that boy's looking for bad trouble. And he's sure going to get it.
This guy in the background's
You can
laughing
bet
his
on
ass
that.
off. This is the same set Corman used in some western he did in the 1800s, set in the 1800s.
Okay.
You see, the octopi
Exact
uses
same.
its suction discs to hold its prey. Now, in itself, the disc will not inflict a wound. Same is true of the squid. Now, both creatures have a parrot-like beak as their primary offensive and defensive weapon.
Well, maybe the sheriff was right, Dad. Could be a freak or a malformed alligator.
No, I'm afraid it wasn't.
Well, where does that leave us, Doc?
I wish I knew. You know, I'm beginning to think Lem was telling the truth in Walker's store. He did see something that night. Something that had intelligence enough to seek him out and destroy him later.
But Sawyer claims to have killed the thing he saw. Put a half a dozen rifle bullets into it. I've seen that old 44-40 used. Nothing could live after being hit with those slugs.
Well, conceding the possibility of one such creature, we must also concede the possibility of others.
Well, there's one sure way of finding out. Go in and search every backwater, channel, and wet spot in the swamp. If it's there, I'll find it.
Go search in the swamps.
Did he only afford one oar?
Yeah.
She's not helping much.
Yeah, she's just sitting there to look around. Women back then weren't allowed to row, so.
Yeah.
Sure is quiet around here.
I wonder if she's going to get eaten and then he's going to get with the blonde chick.
That'd be a twist.
Yeah.
Did you hear something?
Yes?
What kind of dress is that? She like a candy striper or something?
Well, whatever it was, it's not here anymore.
Definitely what you wear when you go canoeing, for sure.
Yeah.
Do you want some coffee?
Yeah, thanks, son.
They're all like worried now. They're just going to have a cup of
Sorry,
coffee.
hide in here and never be noticed.
One did.
What?
Oh my God, what's that?
Seminoles
Let's have a
in
cup of
North Carolina
coffee.
in the 1830s. Took the U.S. Army 2 years to round them up.
Oh, I remember reading about Osceola
It's
in
exactly
high school.
what I want when I'm out in a
2
hot,
years.
sweaty, humid day on the swamp with some hot
Right.
I've been
coffee.
at it 2
Right.
days
Did
and I
she just
feel
break that out of
worn
her purse? Because I didn't see
Well.
a thermos or anything.
Might as well keep on looking around.
Oh, he's done.
Honey, your coffee sucks.
I didn't drink any of it, but it smells really bad.
Well, I guess we may as well give up for today.
You won't get any argument from me.
She really is dead weight on that boat.
Maybe she should be sitting in the front. I don't know. Just leaning back and
Actually, yeah. Oh,
yeah, you see that?
yeah.
And why is she tired? She's just sitting there.
I know. Yeah, I'm beat.
I'm
All
exhausted.
this
I handed you
sitting
that
on
cup.
sitting on my ass. I'm exhausted.
Oh yeah, what's that?
I'm asking you for the last time, Dave Walker. You answer me, you dirty old man.
I ain't dirty, Liz, baby.
Liz, baby. Liz, honey. Can't you think of anything else to say, stupid?
I gotta get this order over to Miss Chovy. She's one of my better customers. Can't keep her waiting.
Because you don't have any other customers in there?
I love you, Liz, baby.
Get out. Get out, you fat pig!
Sweetheart.
Yep. What is she mad about? I don't know if they set that up.
I think because of what happened on the swamp, she wants him to sell the store and move to the city to be
Okay.
to be away from the swamp.
Right.
You know women.
That's
Cal.
why she went there at
They
night
get their hair down
to run away from
every
him.
now and
Yeah.
Sure don't
yeah.
know an awful lot about females. I gotta hand it to you.
then. I can't stand here jawing, Cal. Gotta get this order over to Miss Chovy.
What's she letting her hair down about this time?
Well, ever since Lem got herself killed, she wants me to sell out and move into town.
Don't you let her bamboozle you, Dave. You keep her right here in the store. After all, the place wouldn't be the same without you around.
Thanks, Cal. I better get going. See you when I get back.
Yeah, I'll be around.
I bet you will.
Just being a good friend, right?
Oh, definitely. That wasn't very obvious, was it?
Yeah. Liz, baby.
It's Cal, honey.
You want something, Cal?
I sure do, honey.
Let's head to the swamp.
Yeah.
Tired?
Oh, I'm dead.
Me too. Come on over here.
I'm dead from weighing that canoe down while you rode.
It seems kind of silly knocking ourselves out looking for something we aren't even sure exists.
What do you mean?
You know, we've covered miles of back channel and haven't come across anything to support your father's theory of an alien creature. Not so much as a mud print we couldn't identify.
I know. You're not going to give up, are you, Steve?
Well, I can't waste any more time on a wild goose chase. With all respect to your father's ideas.
Dad seems so sure.
Uh-oh. Hopefully he doesn't forget that.
Bottle of wine.
Yep.
Oh. Yeah, she wants to get away from that swamp.
Yep. Right. There's nowhere else to go but to the swamp to make out. This guy doesn't have a place.
Yeah, no. Let's go hang out where that guy near where that guy was murdered by something weird.
I reckon I never met a woman like you before.
You really like me, Cal?
You kidding? No, I didn't hurt you now, did I?
You're so strong. I like a man that's strong.
Well, you sure picked a doozy, that man, Dave. I don't think he's got a muscle in him. Just a big piece of flab. Oh, now, I didn't mean anything against you. Just that I can't see a real woman like you tying in with a tubbalard like him.
You wouldn't understand, Cal. You know, I've wanted to tell you. You just wouldn't understand.
There's a lot of fat shaming in this movie, and it's starting to bother me.
You tell old Cal all about it.
You wouldn't think bad of me?
Crazy. You tell me you killed your pa and your ma and your whole family. I'll fight to protect you.
Is that a good pickup line?
I guess. I try that sometime.
Yeah.
I'll kill your whole family.
I was like, if you killed your whole family, I'd still want to do you.
Yeah. You could murder your family, my family, and I still love you. And they're like right by the water, too. Swampy water.
Yeah.
First husband was a no good bum. Couldn't keep a job more than a week. Used to get lushed up, come home beat up on me.
You must have been a prize pig.
One night he tried to hold up a gas station. He was so drunk he couldn't even run. I caught him less than a mile away. Got sent up. I got a divorce.
It's rough.
After 3 years working in a lousy beanery, I was ready for the first guy that said a nice word to me. It was Dave. That's it.
I wish it had been me. I'd know how to take care of a woman like you, Liz.
Maybe it ain't too late, Cal.
woman. It's too late for the both of you. Get up. Come on, get up.
Now, look, Dave, I know what you're thinking, but...
I got double large shot in this here thing. You got 2 seconds before I pull the trigger.
Dave, I just tripped and my lips fell on hers.
No point getting riled, Dave. Wasn't my fault. She's been pestering me for months to take her out.
Sure, Cal. I understand. Get her up so I can get a better look at the line, little tramp. Come on, get her up.
Come on, get up.
No, he'll kill me. He'll kill me.
Jump him. Your husband wants to take a look at you. You walk all the way, Dave?
One more step and I'll blow you plumb in two. Get over there.
Oh, here we go.
Now, David, ain't as bad as you think.
Shut up. Tramp.
What are you going to do?
You'll find out soon enough.
Dave, you put down that gun before I get mad and make you eat it.
Go ahead and try it, Cal.
Is that the, like,
Go right ahead and try.
Full Metal Jacket, like the gunnery sergeant saying to Private Pyle in the bathroom? Yeah. Not a good approach.
Yeah. Is this thing ever going to do anything? This leech or leeches? It's quite the build up there.
Probably expect something soon.
Yeah. They can definitely outrun this guy, though, that's for sure.
Come on. Come on.
I can't go any further. No.
Come on. Come on.
That guy's biggest role was in Night of the Blood Beast.
Oh, that guy, yeah.
The boyfriend. And her biggest role was Attack
Playboy
of the
magazine?
Well, yeah, but Attack of the 50-Foot Woman.
Okay. I've heard of that one.
She played a pretty similar role to this. She wasn't the 50-Foot Woman, but...
Yeah.
Go on, run! Run till you drop! Like a fool child.
Go on. Cal.
Come on, keep going.
Dave, please, you gotta listen. It wasn't my fault, honest. She kept playing up to me every time you turned your back. It wasn't my fault.
You call yourself a man. You and your muscles.
Shut up, you tramp! If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be in this fix. And my old friend Dave wouldn't be doing this thing to me. It's all your fault.
Get going.
But Dave, we've been friends. We've been friends a long time, Dave.
That was the director. Just keep spitting on him.
Yeah, just keep.
If you don't move, I'll tell you where you stand.
But Dave!
Great big man.
Oh. I didn't mean it, Dave! I didn't mean it! Dave, the kid is out here! Dave, please, Dave!
I'm sorry! Sorry, honey, I'm sorry, Dave. I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. Please, I'm
learned enough to stay away from a woman, Cal?
Hey, anything, Dave. I'll move out of the county. I'll do anything you say, Dave. Anything.
All right. Come on out of there.
Uh-oh.
Give me a hand. How'd you go? Oh. Dave.
Oh, my God. Look out. Behind you.
Those guys like in suits? What's going on? Okay.
They asked a special effects guy to do the suits, and the guy's like, dude, you don't even have enough money for me to buy the crap I would need.
Down here, Sheriff.
Well, I'm getting tired of this.
Do you know what they used?
Come on in, boys.
Production staff, I don't know, somebody's wife or somebody they had like some raincoat, like either trash
if there's
bags
any
or like
bodies out
raincoat
there, we'd have
material,
found
Yeah.
and they just
I want
sewed
some
like
straight
suckers
answers,
on
Walter.
them.
And don't give me any more of that crud about monsters either. Where'd you hide them after you killed them?
I told you the truth, Sheriff. I didn't kill them. I just wanted to scare them good. I loved my Liz. I wouldn't do anything to hurt her.
She would have killed you,
Sure.
along with her family.
You loved her. That's why you chased her through the swamp with a shotgun. Come on, Walker. Where'd you hide the bodies?
Won't you believe me? It was some monsters. They...
Take him out of here before I lose my temper.
The sheriff also played the sheriff in Earth versus the Spider.
County fair reward if someone finds a body, Sheriff?
Pretty much same
That's his-
kind of role.
$50.
Yeah. All
Kids
typecast,
saw a big
actors.
spider, and he's like, "Damn, kids, you didn't see anything. Don't tell me about the giant spiders."
You know, I never thought that of old Dave. Of course, everybody knowed that Cal and Liz had a hankering for each other. Everybody but old Dave.
Darn fools. Grappling out there in the middle of the water. If them bodies is still in there, you can bet some old bull gator's got 'em stuffed in his cave under the bank, letting 'em ripen up for a few days.
Yeah, well, what we need now is some long cypress poles to go in there and probe them gator caves.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Ah, Dave.
Yep. Just like Epstein.
I'm sorry, Doc, I can't do it.
Dave didn't kill himself.
Yeah. Did they turn off the cameras? Did anybody see what happened?
But I will if I find you near the preserve with any explosives.
Steve.
Sorry, Nan, that's the way it's got to be.
Steve's right, ma'am. It's his job to protect wildlife.
What about human life? 3 people have been killed in that game preserve. Doesn't that mean anything to you?
Nan, try to understand. If I could be sure something in the swamp was responsible for those deaths, I wouldn't hesitate a minute. We've been together the last 3 days. We didn't see a trace of anything unusual. Not so much as a suggestion of any form of life unknown to us.
Steve, something killed those people.
All right, I'll admit Sawyer's death left a lot of questions unanswered. But you can bet your bottom dollar the other 2 died from Dave Walker's shotgun.
Do you really believe that?
Figure it out, Nan. Walker admitted chasing his wife and cow into the swamps after he found them together. He shot them and he tried to place the blame on Sawyer's DTs. If Sawyer had told of seeing purple giraffes with polka dot tails, Walker would have claimed they did it.
There's one argument against that, Steve. Dave Walker wasn't the kind of a man to hang himself, not even with 2 murder charges against him. Now, I talked with Dave less than an hour before he killed himself. That man was in a state of shock. I've seen frightened men before, terrified men. But I've never seen anything to compare with the horror and the fear in Walker's eyes.
Well, he realized what he'd done and he killed 2 people. One his wife. Well, look, Doc, Nan and I were all over that swamp. And why didn't these monsters attack us?
I've been thinking about that. They're probably night creatures. They can't stand the light and they stay down near the bottom during the day. A small charge would stun them, bring them to the surface.
Can't buy, Doc.
You're pig-headed, Steve Benton. Stubborn and pig-headed.
You just don't understand, do you? Good night, Doc.
Over there in them reeds.
Is this the same place they were before, the other couple?
Looks like it.
Yeah.
Just can't figure old Dave out.
If you was caught like Cal, what would you do?
I hadn't thought of that. Right over there in them reeds is where that big one used to be.
Yeah.
Caught some good catfish in that hole.
Little moonshine.
This is sure a hot one.
Right unseasonable.
Right, better than her coffee.
Right?
Funny.
Huh?
Ain't you noticed anything?
Oh, what?
We've been prodding around you all morning. Ain't run across a single gator. By rights, this pool should be crawling with him. Sure funny.
Yeah, that is funny.
I don't like the looks of things. Let's call it a day.
Well, now, wait a minute. We ain't pulled the gator holes around the bend yet.
You do what you want to do, boy. Just get me on dry land, and right quick.
All right. Now, ain't no use getting all head up. Let's go. You better quit drinking that moonshine. That's why you're so wrinkled and ugly.
Another lazy person not paddling.
Yeah.
Oh, go chase.
He wants to get out of this so bad, but he's just sitting there. Are he jumping?
No?
Oh. Okay. Oh. They didn't kill them. It definitely looks like a trash bag. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh, she's still alive. Good. Whew.
Oh, wow.
What's he doing? Kissing him? Giving him a hickey.
We've been calling, but there's been no answer.
Oh, I just got back. What seems to be the trouble?
Haven't you heard?
Old Sam Peters and Porky Reed have disappeared.
Come on inside.
You know Kovis. Nothing would please him more than to have all the swamp people disappear. Swamp trash, he calls them.
I know.
They have about as much regard for him as he has for them. When they're worried enough to go to him, you know something's wrong.
Mrs. Reed said the men went searching for Cal and Mrs. Walker's bodies, and they never returned.
Kovis says he'll get up a search party if they don't show up in a couple of days.
Doc, you and Nan take your car and get as many volunteers as you can. Tell them to meet me at the old wagon road. I'll call Doak Evans and have him bring his dogs. Either they're lost or they've had an accident.
I hope to heaven you're right.
What are the torches for?
I don't know. Is it day or night? I can't.
Didn't they have flashlights.
Well, they picked up the scent anyway.
Dad, do you think they'll find them?
Only the good Lord can answer that.
Well, at least we know they got this far. All right, let's split up into two parties and circle the lake. Keep your eyes open. Let's move out.
This guy's like Joe American.
All clear. It's clear over here.
Yeah, right. They don't have any flashlights. They could be shining everywhere. They got just torches.
Yeah. Burn the swamp down.
All right, let's keep moving. Well, we can't do anything more tonight. Might as well start back.
I reckon ain't no use hurrying now, Mr. Benton. If Reed and old Sam was alive, they'd let us know with a holler or something.
Yeah, it kind of looks that way.
You fellas notice anything about this lake? I mean the gators.
What about them?
They ain't. A piece of water this size usually has maybe 50, 60 big uns around. A whole lot of little ones. It's real unnatural.
Well, maybe our torches scared them away.
Nothing scares gators. Nothing. Animal or human.
Well, we might as well get out of here.
You got something in mind, Steve?
Keep thinking what Evans said about the gators. Nothing scares them, animal or human. And yet something made them leave. Maybe a mineral contamination. Guess I better run some water samples.
Come on, you two. Drink your coffee.
And
That's some more of that
supposing
bad
there is
coffee.
no contamination?
Yeah.
Well, then I'll send over to Eastport for a diving rig and go down to look for this monster of yours.
No, Steve, don't even joke like that.
I'm not joking, man. I had some training with an Watchalong while I was in the Navy.
But, Steve...
Look, there are 2 bodies we know for sure down there. Maybe 4. They've got to be brought up.
Wait a minute. There are no alligators in that part of the swamp, right?
So?
No sign of any fish or snakes?
No. Oh, what are you getting at, Doc?
Well, there goes your argument about setting off a dynamite charge underwater. You're to bring the bodies to the surface.
Get it out of your mind, Doc. I'm not using any explosives as long as there's another way.
Why must you be such a...
Stubborn pighead?
Exactly.
I'll tell you why. Number 1, there's bound to be some aquarian life in that section, even if the bigger forms have abandoned it. Explosion underwater would destroy every living thing and wreck what nature took years to build up.
Freaking Captain
Number
Planet
2,
Air.
I'm paid to prevent the useless slaughter of wildlife. Number 3, I'd have to get authorization.
I didn't think
To get that
anybody cared
authorization,
back
I'd have
then.
to come up with that.
I know, that's what I was thinking.
Satisfied?
I go, so this is one that started. This guy started it right there.
Yeah.
Thanks, buddy.
Dad, I want to
It's
go
his fault.
home.
Steve, how long will it take to get this diving equipment from Eastport?
A couple of days. Why?
Oh, nothing.
I don't care how many people die. We got to
Take care
save the
of yourself,
frogs.
Yeah. She left her coffee.
Well, here's hoping.
Dad, can't you throw the dynamite in from here?
No, I want to get it out into the middle, in the deepest part.
So if anybody watches this later, who do you, would you pick Coffee Girl or Slutty Playmate model
Oh,
girl?
definitely slutty playmate. I'm hoping she makes it. I hope the leeches take it easy on her.
Yeah.
Are they like in a cave or something that's by the shore, or where are they?
Yeah, I don't know.
Is it like
An underground
Yeah.
underwater cave?
Yeah, I think that's what they're trying to say. I don't know.
Oh,
Nope,
they
here
got
comes
caught.
Ranger Rick. Oh boy.
It should go any minute.
Oh boy. Oh. I guess they were underwater, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how underwater caves work.
Yeah.
I think he's alive, no?
He
I just
had
can't
been,
figure
but
it out.
Yeah.
doesn't look it.
Walker's wife, why didn't her body come to the surface?
Too bad Liz baby
don't
didn't fall.
I think I better walk over to the coroner's office.
What's the matter, Mr. Benton? You feel awkward about arresting my father in his own home?
I warned him I'd arrest him if he used dynamite.
It's nice of you.
Well, the autopsy should be over by now.
Steve. I thought you'd be here.
I don't like to have to do this, Doctor.
Do we have time for a cup of coffee first?
Oh my goodness, these people with their coffee.
Mind, honey?
Jeez.
I know.
No, I'll
I
make
like
some
coffee,
sandwiches.
but man, it's
Yep.
driving me crazy.
Yep. I guess he went for the
One
drink,
thing is
not the
certain,
coffee.
all the good it'll do now.
Iced coffee, maybe?
Dave Walker didn't
Jack
shoot
and Coke on the
Cal.
rocks.
Where he finished his coffee and had
I just come from
a
the autopsy.
highball.
Kovis
Yeah.
tried to keep me out. I told him I'd raise a stink they'd smell all the way to the Capitol if he did.
Well, what killed them, Doc?
Not drowning. And Cal wasn't shot either. Every drop of blood was drained out of their bodies. And they had wounds on their throats. Suction wounds. Like a gigantic leech might make. And there's something even more incredible. Now, Cal was supposed to have been killed several days ago. Sam and Reed have been missing a matter of 48 hours. All three of them, as far as we know, were in that lake a minimum of 2 days. Now, I'd stake my reputation as a doctor that Cal hadn't been dead more than 2 or 3 hours when we found him. And the other two less than that.
More like 2 minutes.
First stage rigor mortis
Yeah.
started in during the autopsy.
But how could that be, Doc? It's impossible.
The coroner will confirm it. Whatever killed him is still in that lake, and it's going to take more than dynamite to get it out.
Concussion from those charges would have killed a full-grown whale. That explains how Cal and the others lived after they were supposed to be drowned.
What do you mean?
Well, this whole region is riddled by caves and caverns cut out by the ocean thousands of years ago. If there are caves above the water, then there must be caves under the water.
Go on.
Mike and I had a chance to fool around with some frogman equipment captured from the Italian Navy. We sort of prowled through a sunken transport off Salerno. When the ship went down, it trapped some air inside the hull. We'd go down, come up inside the officer's lounge, take off our face masks, and sort of sample some of the bottles floating around. We'd drive the guys crazy trying to figure out how we were getting the stuff.
You mean you think that there's an ale pocket or a cave underneath the lake?
Right, gotta be. How else could those people have lived down there? Not only that, it explains how, whatever it is down there, lived through the concussions.
Steve. Liz Walker. She might still be down there.
I hope so.
Alive.
Can you fact check the science behind this, George, on the underground caves?
I don't know. It's
No, no, no.
Is there already stuff in there? What's going on with the water?
Comfortable?
Yeah.
You sure you don't want me to go down for you, Mike? You haven't had one of these things on for a long time. Well, me, every other day I've been playing fish.
Not this time, Mike.
If you ask me, they ought to have their heads examined. Giant leeches. I'm willing to bet a month's pay they don't come up with nothing more than excuses. He's crazy. Him, the doc, and his brat, too. Just wait till I get on the phone to the Capitol. I'll guarantee somebody will wish they'd kept their nose out of other people's business. I'll guarantee that.
I see Dad got out of prison.
Steve. Be careful, please.
Don't worry, Mike will be ready if anything goes wrong.
Don't worry about Steve. Now, if you were going after Barracuda, you might have a tiny bit to worry about.
Ready, Mike?
Oh, please stay away.
Terrifying.
Inviting, is it?
That sure isn't. Hold her steady, Mike.
It'll stop anything up to a tiger shark. But you got a hit. Misses don't count. Now, anything goes wrong, just yank on the line, and I'll be down in a hurry.
Oh, there's a cave. He just throws it down.
Sure you don't want me to go down and finish it off for you, Steve?
No, thanks, Mike. I think I hurt it pretty bad.
Careful now. Anything hurts 10 times as dangerous.
He's wounded it. He's gonna finish it off.
Does he have to go under again?
He's got to make sure, honey.
Where could it have come from?
I wish I knew. We'll have to make some tests. Maybe the proximity of Cape Canaveral's got something to do with it.
The rocket station?
Well, they use atomic energy in the first stages of launching. Not all of them have been successful.
You think that if some animal
Can you
life
fact
is
check
close
that?
by,
I don't think
not
that's
close
true.
enough to
Is it?
feel the-
Yeah.
Close enough to feel the effects of a radioactive energy that...
A mutation. Type of gigantism of some common animal.
Yeah, I don't think
There it is.
radiation creates
Hope he's
giant
able to bring it
fishes.
up.
No.
Right. It only creates Godzilla. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they were trying to capture the Godzilla craze at the time.
Yeah, yeah, maybe. Oh no. Damn it. Oh. He could see through the water that he shot something, but he can't see that that's like a person.
Can't be Liz.
Oh, I'm very
Could've done
disappointed
that.
here.
Yeah.
Look at her face.
It's oh, big bad choice in movie making.
Yeah.
Killing her off.
Yep. They lost me. They just
Yep.
lost me. Oh, here we go. Close up. Woo. Terrifying. It's plankton. Look out. It's Patrick from SpongeBob SquarePants.
I've been around here for years. I never saw nothing like that before.
You never saw giant leeches before? It's a shock.
Yeah. Oh, we're just gonna let her go.
Would have been a much better movie if they could have rescued her.
Yeah, I think so. That would have made it. And then he left her to go with her.
Yeah, yeah.
And then they went on like a murdering spree, like Bonnie and Clyde.
Yeah.
Sure you used enough stuff to do the job, Mike? I used 160.
I've had enough of you and your stupid coffee.
Right out.
Your coffee sucks. I'm done.
Oh, no. I've done enough of your dirty work. Help yourself.
There's more of that atomic energy. Now, what are they going to create now? Jeez. The days when hairy chests were in style.
Are they trying to set it up for a sequel?
Yeah. Did they all just leave? Like they just walked away? Well, like what happened there?
Man,
such a sudden end.
I don't know. Well, YouTube took the stream down.
They did?
I noticed it about 6 minutes ago, but it was so close. It's probably why I don't know if you noticed. I got quiet there for a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. I thought like did you fall asleep?
I just noticed it. They removed it for copyright. They're wrong.
Really?
Yeah, YouTube's dumb.
So they take down the whole thing. That's it.
Yeah, well, they just stop you from streaming. But the reason I didn't say anything and let it finish is I'll try to re-upload it.
Yeah.
And try to figure out what the hell they're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, because you're recording it as well, right? So you can just
Yeah. Yep. I'm recording it too, so it's I mean, there's always a slight possibility that maybe somewhere along the line, this version that I have, somebody added someone added some scenes back in and put it out at some point.
Yeah, it's that opening where it wasn't in English, the title. That's what did it.
Yeah. Well, it's yeah, it might be something like that, but I'll probably still be able to use it. It just like I said, it's idiotic. This movie's definitely in the public domain.
Yeah.
I spent hours researching the copyright status just to be sure.
So dumb.
But it's a hassle.
Yep. That's the issue with this type of stuff.
Yeah, that's why it took so much time to make sure it is. But like I said, I didn't bother making a big deal about it because it happened at 10:36, so about an hour in.
Oh,
But
right.
I didn't notice it until about like I said, like 8-9 minutes ago. That's when I noticed it. But that's it. I'm gonna I was gonna say, trying to think if there's anything else that I forgot to mention on this. The doctor in this was also the doctor on Night of the Blood Beast.
Yep, I think you said that one.
Did I?
Yeah.
Well,
that famous movie. What's the name of it again?
Night of the Blood Beast. But the guy that was sleeping with Yvette Vickers, he was in Night of the Blood Beast. That might be why you remembered it. But
yeah,
this director directed that movie also.
This was a step up though from Little Shop of Horrors, I have to say.
Yeah. This had its fun aspects. Which is more. A lot of these have some fun things about them. That's why I wouldn't have hadn't really planned on doing Little Shop of Horrors first, but
it's probably it's probably good that we did.
But hey, it's practice anyway.
Yeah.
Just trying to think. The writer, the guy that wrote this, did The Wasp Woman of 1959, also, just kind of
love that movie.
A knockoff of The Fly.
Oh, okay.
Basically.
Wait, The Fly. The Fly that they made, is that a remake? The one from with Jeff Goldblum?
Yeah, that wasn't the original.
Of course it is.
Yeah, Jeff Goldblum and what's her name?
Gina. Darn it, I liked her too.
Yeah, definitly. I liked her in that movie
Gina
a lot,
Davis.
actually.
Gina Davis.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Thanks.
I had a crush on her when from that movie Transylvania. Was it 6-9000 or something?
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow. I liked her in a lot of roles. I liked her in The Fly. I liked her in The Long Kiss Goodnight.
Oh yeah. Yep. I do remember that one.
She was kind of like a homemaker, but she had amnesia or something, and then all of a sudden she realized she was a assassin, and she turned from like homemaker into this like cool, sexy assassin chick.
I remember they were trying to make her into like this woman action star type thing, That's like they were trying to promote her. Like that.
Yeah, I thought she did a great job in that movie, but it just wasn't happening, I guess.
Yep.
But trying to think. A lot of these sci-fi creature feature type movies, some of them can be fun.
Yeah,
this one, I agree. They made a big mistake killing Yvette Vickers.
Man, it felt like she was gonna make it. I mean, right till the end. And
yeah, they really faked us out there.
Yep, they got me.
Yeah, she had. It was sort of a sad tale for her. She ended up. She was in a few more movies, but didn't do a lot. But then she was divorced 3 times.
Real life. Okay.
In real life, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. She didn't make 3 more movies in this movie. No.
Yeah.
In real life, or in 2011. Her body was discovered by her neighbor. It was like mummified in her house.
Oh my goodness!
She'd been like dead for a year and nobody even knew.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty sad. But,
that is sad, actually.
But yeah, we just get to remember her from the Attack of the Giant Leeches and Attack of the 50-Foot Woman. So
right. Yep.
But all right. What else? Mystery Science Theater did take off on this movie, Giant Leeches too.
But they did. Yeah.
I don't remember. I might have seen it, but it's been so long I don't remember anything from it. But
Yeah,
no, I thought this
entertaining.
is more. Look, it's not. It's not the greatest movie ever made, but I have fun with some of these. But I'm thinking. What's that?
Oh, good.
No, you
no
go.
good. I was just thinking. I was watching this. Do you remember that movie, Night of the Creeps? I think it was Night of the Creeps. They were like slugs from space, like leech like looking things that like went up your nose and got into your brain.
Yeah, I have a vague recollection of it. I'm not sure if I even saw it, to tell you the truth.
This is in the 80s, like mid 80s or something.
Yeah, no, I'm familiar with it.
That's what made me think of when I was watching this.
I was actually noticing things about this that reminded me of like Lake Placid with the giant crocodile.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably just, it's not that they took lines from this. It's probably just that they used facts about alligators and stuff.
Was it by a NASA launch site that produced some atomic energy that made the alligator bigger? Or
no. There was a giant crocodile in
crocodile,
Lake Placid, but one of the lines was in this. The sheriff was like, nothing would have swam in 2 miles from salt water, and
right.
There was lines like that in Lake Placid.
Yeah,
but
you wonder if these directors grow up with this stuff and they just like, I'm gonna do this, but do it bigger and better.
I think so. I think so. Yeah. I think a lot of directors and writers are fans of a lot of older stuff.
Yeah. It's amazing how many movies are just remakes that I didn't even realize that are remakes. To me, a lot of them are like, oh, this is the first time this has been made. And really it's just a remake of something that they saw.
Yeah, in fact, there's a lot of things that have been remade multiple times with different names too.
Yeah.
I know one thing that surprised me was you've heard of that movie. It was a romantic comedy, You've Got Mail, with Tom Hanks and
what's her name?
Meg Ryan.
Meg Ryan, yeah.
That was a redo of a movie called the Shop Around the Corner, made in like 1934 with Jimmy Stewart and some girl, and it had also been remade like 4 other times with different names.
So instead of email, it was like the postman or something delivering email.
Yeah, it was I guess it was something where people wanted there was no internet, so they would have pen pals and would kind of anonymously write to different people, write to each other or something, instead of a message board.
Yep. So
they actually worked. Well, they actually worked in a shop together, and they kind of didn't like each other. They were sort of at each other a little bit. And then they kept talking about like, oh, there's this person I'm writing to who's awesome. You should be more like them.
Yeah.
And then, hilarity ensues, and it's same basic premise. And
there's nothing new under the sun. That's for sure.
Well, that's the thing. There's really, I think, I can't remember even, but they say there's like, only 4 or 5, 6 stories that cover every story ever told,
Yeah.
Trying to get home, trying to defeat the evil, trying to escape the monster, whatever.
Yeah. And they just all evolve from those type of stories into these.
Yeah.
Into this amazing cinema that we just experienced.
Yeah, I mean, Jaws is the basic premise of this. It's just done extraordinarily well compared to this.
Yeah.
And I think
I went. Oh, good.
I was going to say part of what worked so well in Jaws was not showing the monster, even though they had a much bigger monster budget.
Yeah. It's the tension, right? You felt the tension.
Yeah. Imagine if they had just a little more time, a little more talented people, and a little more money, and they didn't show the stupid monsters. And they didn't kill off the Playboy Playmate.
Right.
This could have been, a couple notches better anyway.
Yeah. I wonder if people felt tension when they first saw this movie, like when it came out. I wonder if do you think it was like, oh, this is tense, you know?
Probably. I mean, I think some of these are kind of popcorn movies. Even then, I think people, I think they got. They don't look at it as ridiculous as we do now.
Right.
But I don't think they were like in dread watching it. If that makes sense.
Right. Yeah.
I think that's why a lot of these turn to, decent amount of. There's some other movies that if we do there's a little more comedy in some of them. But even movies like there was kind of the 30s craze with the original Frankenstein, Dracula, Wolfman, and I think some people were genuinely scared with some of that stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's the first time anything like that was ever depicted,
and it's the first time you've seen like a visualization on screen representing this. Yeah, I'm sure that'd be scary for people first seeing that.
Yeah, and some of those are pretty creepy, and I think because they were the first time anyone had ever seen anything like that, it was probably a bit shocking to people.
Yeah.
And then I think some of this stuff was a lot more like the commentary the guy was doing about the radiation and stuff. This was part of a bunch of movies that had been made sort of in response to people's fears of the Cold War and fears of the atomic bomb and radiation and that kind of stuff.
Definitely, yeah, it would feed into that.
So I think people on that level, like what is all this, all these bombs that are exploding in New Mexico? What is all this radiation going to do? What's going to do to the environment? And so I think there was some general fear.
That's why they had the Captain Ranger there that came in to try to save the day with not wanting to blow stuff up. And he's like the environmentalist that's.
Yeah. Yeah, he was kind of a conservationist, basically.
Yeah. Definitely.
It's but yeah, a lot of those. Trying to think of. Little Shop wasn't like that, but yeah, a lot of the other. There's some space stuff, aliens and that kind of thing. I think was probably around the same time, but a lot of the giant. This was part of the giant creature type movies. This was sort of the after King Kong kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, not King Kong. I meant Godzilla.
Godzilla.
Yeah.
I know you meant, yeah.
I mean, it's in the sense of King Kong, actually, but Godzilla was sort of, I think that was Godzilla. All that stuff was sort of the...
Yeah, but that was from nuclear stuff.
Godzilla. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, I can't imagine people were generally terrified. People might have been a little scared. I think these were you bring a date and it costs nothing and you don't really watch it. You're just making out with your
you're making out.
And,
yeah. The guy's looking at that blonde. He's like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, she's good looking.
After the park ranger was pointing his gun at Yvette Vickers' head, the girl screams and then she buries her head in her boyfriend and they make out for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, it's I don't know. It's maybe people were a little more scared, but yeah, I don't think it was, like this didn't have the impact that Jaws did or something, obviously.
No, yeah, I didn't think that, but I was just curious if people it was a little bit scary to them at the time.
Yeah, I guess I don't know. I bet if you take all of these as a whole, I bet some of them people were a little scared, Some of them have jump scares in them. If you get a movie like Hitchcock's The Birds, which was obviously later than this, another 10 years later or something.
Right.
I mean, that was more, he's more suspense, even though it sort of fits into horror.
Yeah, suspense is what gets you, though. You know what I mean? It's the thinking of what could happen, right?
Yeah.
That, you know.
Yeah. And that's where Hitchcock, you would be on the edge of your seat with a lot of those, and things would happen, and you'd jump out of your seat.
Jump scares.
Yeah. I don't think his stuff is as, he had jump scares, but they're not cheap. They're not cheap jump scares, if that makes sense.
They're not dressed in plastic bags with stuff sewn onto them.
Yeah. But definitely, like, for instance, in The Birds, there's definitely a few shocking things.
I don't know if I've seen that movie, all of it. I've seen like bits and pieces of it, but I haven't seen all of it.
Yeah, but it's mostly not horror. It's mostly suspense and dread, and the buildup of the suspense and the dread.
Right.
But there's a couple of times where the birds get in and get to people, kill a few people, a couple gory parts, for that time and type of movie. But pretty cool. But yeah. That one of the big things about these low budget ones is, sometimes they really make a valiant effort, but they just didn't have time or budget or brilliant writing or acting or anything.
Well, I felt like this was definitely a big time step above Little Shop of Horrors, I have to say.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. I thought you'd find something fun about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even if it's just making fun of parts of it.
Yeah. No, it was. Yeah.
I frankly had more fun making fun of that park ranger pointing the gun at the hot chick's head. It's just like, oh my god.
Yeah.
The interaction of her and the fat husband, and
the whole thing was just ridiculous. Like, she'd be ever be married to him, and the whole thing was so stupid. And I thought they kind of teased that whole setup with him. When he's pointing the gun at her, like maybe they're gonna meet up or something. Because I don't know, just the way he was embracing her and aiming the gun at her head, and it seemed like it could have been something.
Yeah, it was just like she's like, telling her husband I'm going out, and then she's at the swamp.
Right.
And then she's like, after the guy's dead, she's like, we got to move out of the swamp. And then so she's hanging out with her boyfriend at the swamp. It's just
right. So 2 times. So someone already died, and she's going out. I thought she's gonna go to a bar or something. No, she's at the swamp. Well, why was she at the swamp? For what reason?
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden she was there, and the guy was dying somehow.
Yeah. That was weird. I mean, I don't really and frankly, I don't even need stuff over explained to me, but you need some reason she was there. It was just weird.
Yeah. You don't get all dressed up and then go out to the swamp.
Yeah. It was I mean it. And if there's no other place to go, why'd she even bother? Why don't she just say, Dave, get the hell out of here and slam the door and stay in her room and play records?
Right.
I would have expected her to be at some bar somewhere getting drunk.
Definitely. Yeah. Picking up that other dude or something, meeting him there.
Yeah. Well, I think most of her stuff, I think I've seen Attack of the 50-Foot Woman. I think she was hanging out in a bar in that movie. So
okay.
But I think that's copyright. I'm pretty sure that's not. I'm almost positive it's not public domain. So
yeah,
you gotta deal with what you can deal with. I just can't believe they took me down. But I'll figure it out. Like I said, it might be just a matter of one scene got added back in somewhere along the line, and
that's
somebody
crazy
owns
that
the rights to it.
That's crazy that it would even know that. It just seems so nuts to me that it would pick that up.
Well, Content ID pretty much, all it is ones and zeros. You know what I mean to YouTube.
Right.
But YouTube knows what is exactly what's on your screen and exactly what's being said.
Oh yeah,
what's being played, music, and So, or I should say, the computers know. They know
Right.
exactly what's being shown and said and sung. So, but I should be able to, at the very least, manage to put this up as a video in some respect. You know, that's one of the main. Well, it's why I wanted my own recording, regardless. So,
yeah, that's smart to do a recording because you can upload it, see where it hits that it doesn't like it, cut it out, and then put up the rest of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I said, I made sure that the movie was public domain, but, like I said, there tends to be so many different copies around, and they can be. It's not impossible for there to be a, you know, like this isn't. I wouldn't have just taken the Criterion Collections copy or anything, obviously, but somebody might have copied part of that and some found footage, some found restored footage could have got put back in this version. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I'll figure it out. But I'm gonna end this, I think, unless you had any more.
No, yeah, that's
things to say, or you want to shout out your channel or anything, or
you're
welcome to.
Yeah, I never ready for this. I'm good right now. Next time I'll get something prepared.
All right, man.
I may be working on another channel, so maybe I'll shut that one out.
Cool. I'm gonna play this outro real quick. Hang out for just a minute.
Okay.
All right, that's it.
I don't really